So let's talk about aliens. The first speculation about what we would call aliens goes back to the atomic speculations among Epicurean philosophers in ancient Greece and their Roman disciples. Democritus and Epicurus considered the universe to be the result of a chance jostling of atoms, and regarded it as highly likely that there were other worlds out there and that they were inhabited. This took place as early as 1480. Flash forward to the 15th century, things were changing a little bit. Nicholas of Cusa adopted the idea early on in a work that was both remarkable and highly influential. Citations to Nicholas before I start this. Life as it exists on Earth in the form of men, animals, and plants is to be found, let us suppose, in a high form in the solar and stellar regions. We can kind of depict what Nicholas is saying as far as space and different planets and just the universe itself, rather than think that so many stars and parts of the heavens are uninhabited and that this earth of ours alone is peopled. So he's kind of saying there's no way that there's all this space out there beyond Earth and the heavens that's uninhabited. Adding on to that, he does say, and that with beings perhaps of an inferior type, so aliens without saying alien, we will suppose that in every region there are inhabitants differing in nature by rank and all owing their origin to God, who is the center and circumference of all stellar regions. Citations to Nicholas of Cusa, as well as Tim O'Neill on Slate.com. So I know that first part was a lot to take in, but please strap in because this is a very deep rabbit hole and I'm going to try and cover all the key points in the shortest amount of time I can. As early as 3000 BC, the Temple of Seti I in Abydos features an ancient Egyptian frieze that is believed by UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists to be an out-of-place artifact, not unlike the infamous Dendera light. Among hieroglyphs such as the fly, the engraving shows what seems to be a helicopter, as well as airplanes and a submarine. In some pseudoscientific circles, these hieroglyphs have been interpreted as a representation of modern technology in antiquity, knowledge perhaps given to the Egyptians by time travelers or extraterrestrial entities. So adding on to this, most archaeologists would actually agree that the carvings are really nothing unusual. The hieroglyphs depicting modern technology are an example of pareidolia, our tendency to perceive a pattern or meaning that isn't actually there. Furthermore, the real explanation behind the helicopter has to do with the legacies of different rulers in ancient Egypt. It was common for hieroglyphs to be recarved over time, especially when a new pharaoh came into power. Citations to Fred Cherrygarden on Atlas Obscura. I would also love to hear your guys' thoughts on this theory down in the comments below. As a part of the 17th and the 18th century, there were many theories in place on extraterrestrial life. However, to save time, I'm not going to go through all of them. But in the 17th and 18th centuries, it became possible to believe in the existence of life on other planets on scientific grounds. Once the Earth was no longer the center of the universe, according to Copernicus, once Galileo had aimed his telescope at the moon and found it a rough globe with mountains and seas, the assumption of life on other planets became much less far-fetched. So when Galileo was up there looking at the sky, he wasn't just thinking that we were the only ones here. He was thinking about the aliens! In the 19th century, extraterrestrial life would start gaining attention in a more pop culture sense, I guess you can say. Movies such as 1902's A Trip to the Moon, or 1956's Earth vs. the Flying Saucers, and it should go without saying, one of the most famous alien movies, Alien, 1979. Finally, and in conclusion, modern day aliens have been much more prominent in today's day and age. Well, what I mean is there are many theories as well as movies surrounding the idea of extraterrestrial life. However, what sticks out most to me recently in the year 2023 when scientists would unveil the mummified remains of an alien. However, this has brought many speculations to the eyes of conspiracy theorists. It's hard to say if the mummified corpse is a real alien or not, so I'm not going to give my answer. However, be sure to let me know your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and peace. Dun 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 dun.